Welcome to our Tech Summit session on Create Your Own Smart Home, presented to you by Richard Harrington, a founding member of Tech Lab. He will be sharing with us some ideas and resources for designing your own smart home. As a reminder, we are recording this session and will be posted to the Technology Summit website after the recording. A few reminders, we are in a WebEx meeting format, so please ensure that you are muted. If you have questions, please drop them in the chat and we will have Richard answer them as time allows at the end of the session. There are a few upcoming events I'd like to remind you of. The AppSy Pro Day is March 24th, 2022, and the Power Up Conference will be April 4th and 5th. For more information about the Pro Day, please see the recent email blast or the flyer under our Technology First website on the Technology Events page. That's the same page where the Technology Summit page is hosted. Richard, I'll let you take it from here.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much, Holly. So welcome to Create Your Own Smart Home. My name is Richard Harrington. As Holly said, I am a co-founder of the Technology Enhancing Capabilities Lab. We are a division of Trinity Services, which is a provider organization just south of Chicago. So I wanted to start off today by advancing my slide. Let's start off today with just kind of telling you some of the things to expect from this session. I will be defining what a smart home is, as well as some of the components. And then I'll be giving some examples of what the most common smart home components on the market are. I would love to get into every different type of component that's out there, but I only have an hour with you, and there are a lot of different components. So if this presentation sparks your interest, feel free to do some searching on other sensors and devices. And then I'll be providing some examples on how all these cool different technologies can work together. So I want to throw out some disclaimers too. First and foremost, the Tech Lab nor myself, we don't get any reimbursement from any of these companies. I just have had a lot of success with them and want to share them with you. And then this discussion is actually just based on my experience with the products. Some people may not be into some of the features. Some people may like other brands versus the brands I'll be talking about. So just keep in mind, this is based solely on my experience with it. The pricing of all these products will depend on where you get them, what brand of product, when you purchase a product. A lot of times they'll be on sale. And then please also note that most of these products can be purchased at most hardware stores or general merchandise stores like Target, Best Buy, Walmart, etc. Or you can hop on Amazon and odds are you'll find them there, with the exception of the Google products. For some reason, you can't find Google on the Amazon store. So because features and settings are constantly changing, I'm only going to get into some of the features. I won't get into some of the more advanced settings because again, I only have an hour with you. And for those of you that have a smart speaker or a virtual assistant of some sort that will respond to wake words, I will be saying Alexa and or Hey Google throughout this presentation. So if you do have one of those devices and you don't want me to activate them, feel free to hit that mute button. And for those of you that don't know, excuse me, don't know how to mute the speaker, look for a button that looks like this. It's just a microphone with a line through it. If you do that, the microphone will no longer be active. And then to reactivate it, just simply press it again. So what is a smart home? The smart home is a home which is equipped with lighting, heating, and electronic devices that can be controlled remotely by phone or by computer. And this is a definition that first appears when searching the phrase smart home definition on Google. What I like about it is it touches on just the basics, but it doesn't get too broad. It can include a variety of sensors, as I had mentioned earlier. For example, motion sensors, water leak sensors, window and door sensors to be activated when a window or door is open. The devices can also be controlled by a tablet or by voice. And then the great thing about this technology being so mainstream right now is that it can both literally and figuratively open doors for people that you support. So let's start off with probably one of the most basic components that I've used most frequently, which is the smart plug. And just as a side note, the brand that I'll be talking about today is Kasa, Kasa by TP-Link. There are a lot of other brands out there. I'll be talking about this one because this is the brand that I have most experience with. I have these set up both at my home and at work. I've used them for people that we support. What I like about it is the app is incredibly user friendly, and with each device, it will walk you through the setup. Casa also has smart bulbs. They have cameras, they have light switches that you can hardwire into your wall. They have outlets that you can hardwire into your wall. They have surge protectors and LED strips and lots of other different products that can all be operated within the same app. And that feature was actually really important to me because now I don't have to, if I want one specific lamp to turn off, I don't have to remember which app that lamp is in. I know that they're all in the same app, and I can just control all the lighting and cameras through that app. These plugs are designed for smaller appliances like lamps and fans, blenders. They are not recommended for bigger appliances like microwaves or refrigerators or stoves. There are bigger plugs and smart home components for the larger appliances, but we're just going to get into the smaller ones today. So to make this work, you simply plug the appliance in, plug into the outlet, and then you set up and control the outlet remotely. Make sure, so if you're plugging a lamp into it, make sure that you have the lamp in on position while it's plugged into this. So you can control you can turn the light on and off using the smartphone, the tablet, this little button that you see on the side of the actual smart plug, or using your voice. But we'll get into that a little bit later. The other thing I like about using smart plugs is you can rename or assign a picture to each device. So when you go in to set up your smart plug, you get like a model number. It's typically TP 5479, whatever. There's a bunch of numbers. You can rename those to anything you want. Um, so that'll help you remember which lamp you're turning on and off. You can also set schedules for the appliance to turn on or off at a predetermined time of day. So, for instance, if um, you're working with a person that um, is afraid of the dark and they have a plug-in nightlight, um, and sometimes staff forget to turn it on. You can use one of these and set a schedule so it comes on at a specific time of day and then turns off at a specific time of day. Um, you can set timers for an appliance to be on for a predetermined amount of time. You can also view how often the appliance has been used for the day, for the past 7 days, and for the past 30 days. Um, One of the ways that we've actually used these smart plugs is in our remote supports program. There's a gentleman that lives in one of those houses that's deaf. And the remote support staff that work out of another building needed a way to get his attention. So we connected a lamp to one of these smart plugs. And now staff in the remote support office can toggle the light on and off when they need to get his attention. So that's one of the many ways that these can be used. Now we'll be talking about smart bulbs, which are very similar to smart plugs, but they're only designed for light. They're um, they're available in multicolor. They're available in white light. They have a filament style option. So if you have a lamp that has a clear globe and you want a fancier looking light bulb and not one that you see pictured here, um, they have those options. And as was the case with the plugs that I just talked about, there are several reputable and reliable brands available. But again, today I'm showing you the TP link. Um, and also you can set these up and control remotely using the smartphone tablet or um, using your voice. With the smart bulbs, you can also set schedules for the light bulb to turn on or off at a specified color if you have the multicolor, a specified brightness at any time of day you would like. Um, you can set a timer for the bulb to be on for a certain amount of time, and then as the same with the plugs, you can view how often the light has been used for the day, the past 7 days, and the past 30 days. Smart cameras, there are th- probably 3 or 4 big players out there as far as brands go. Um, there's Casa, which are pictured here, Blink, Ring, and Google Nest. There are others, but those are the 4 big ones that you see most often. Um, Smart cameras connect to your Wi-Fi network, which allows you to remotely view the designated room or area from anywhere using your smartphone, tablet, or if you have a certain type of smart speaker. Um, Some cameras do have the ability to pan and tilt, like this one here on the left. So you can view more of whatever room they're set in. It allows you to receive notifications if motion has been detected. You can set areas of motion sensitivity. So if um, you have it set up for a person's front door and they have a flag or they have a tree that blows in the wind, you can set up a certain path, a certain area on the walking path, for instance. Um, so only motion detected in that certain area will notify you. They do auto record when motion has been detected. And again, wind, animals, shifting sunlight has set the motion sensitivity off. So keep that in mind. And you can set how um, how much or how sensitive the motion sensing is. You can have a two-way chat with people on the other side of the camera using the app. There are wireless, which is over here on the right, and then wired, which is over here on the left options. And the biggest difference there that I've noticed is with the wireless options, there's a little bit more lag time. It is really nice that there's no wires, but there is a little bit of lag time because you have to connect this little box or this hub to the internet and then connect the cameras to the hub. Um, so that little bit of lag time comes from the cameras going to the hub to the internet to your device. So something to keep in mind if you're trying to decide between wireless or wired options. Um, they do have cloud service options available, but they're not necessary. And then some cameras do have slots on the back of them that have the ability to record using a micro SD card. So now I'm going to talk about smart thermostats, which are thermostats that you connect to your Wi-Fi network. The three top brands here are Ecobee, Nest, and Honeywell. The one pictured is an Ecobee. If you are looking for deals on smart thermostats or plugs or bulbs, take a look at your electric company. A lot of times they will offer specials. Um, for instance, just before Christmas, I was able to purchase my parents a Nest thermostat for about $30, which is, I would say, like $100 off. So definitely be checking your electric companies. They allow you to monitor or adjust temperature remotely through the app or directly on the device. You might be able to see that there's this little blue dot that allows you to adjust the temperature, and then that little snowflake sign allows you to, if you tap that, you can change from the snowflake, which is air conditioning, to heat, which is flame, or it has an auto feature. It does allow you to set schedules or has the ability to learn your temperature preferences. You can turn all that stuff off within the settings. So if you find that creepy, that's fine too. You can receive notifications if the temperature is above or below specific settings. Some models do offer the ability to add sensors which enable you to monitor or change the temperature in specific areas of the house. But that would require an HVAC system that offers zones. So make sure that you're checking with the compatibility of your current HVAC system. And we actually learned that in one of our remote support locations. We had in all of our remote support houses, we implemented these Ecobee thermostats. So the remote support staff can make sure that the temperature is not going through the roof or through the floor, I guess, for being too low. Sometimes here in Chicagoland, temperatures get pretty low. So we wanted to make sure that the remote support staff were able to monitor the temperature of each house. One of these houses, the system, the HVAC system, was in good working order. It just happened to not be compatible with these smart thermostats. So what we did was we still wanted them to find a way to, or have a way to monitor what the temperature is. So we found these things called a temp stick, which is exactly what we were looking for. It's a stick that you put in an area, put in a house, and it will allow you to monitor the temperature remotely. So that's another option if you're not wanting to change the temp and just monitor it. This is a less expensive solution, and you don't have to ensure compatibility. You still can get those notifications for extreme temperatures if you wanted. So that's another option to check out. So smart faucets, the big player here is Moen. I'm sure Delta and other companies are making them, but Moen makes the most prominent one. It's a faucet that you connect to your Wi-Fi network. You can control it using the handle. There's a motion sensor up here. There's a button on the back, or you can connect it to your smart speakers and ask Alexa to dispense water at 98 degrees, and it will dispense or start pouring water at that temperature. You can say, Alexa, please ask Moen to measure 3/4 cup of water, and it will dispense 3/4 cup of water. So that's a good feature in the kitchen, I think, especially for people that we support. So smart locks, which are locks that you connect to your Wi-Fi network. You can control them using your smartphone. Most of them also have a Bluetooth connection. So it will sense when your phone is nearby. So you don't need to unlock it. It will automatically unlock when it senses your phone. It gives you the ability to send permission and access to friends or family. And you can get notifications if and when every time the lock is unlocked. There are three big brands here. There's Wyze, Wyze, August, and then Simply Safe. Wise does also make, as a side note, Wise and Simply Safe do also have other smart home components. So if you are wanting a smart lock and all those other components, and having um, one app is important to you, that's another option that's available. Um, you can set schedules to lock or unlock your door at a certain time every day. Um, Again, check with compatibility. Some keypad and fingerprint deadbolts aren't compatible because they go over traditional um, deadbolts, and that's what they that's how they lock and unlock the door. So make sure you're checking with compatibility on that. Now we'll go to smart door openers. The picture that's on the screen is the Chamberlain MyQ hub, and this enables a user to connect it to their existing, existing garage door opener, which will allow you to connect it to Wi-Fi and therefore control the door remotely using your smartphone app. Um, they do have this hub, but Chamberlain is also incorporating this technology into their new garage door openers. So if you're looking to replace a garage door opener and this is something that you're intrigued about, I would highly recommend it. We have one at our house, and it will notify you every time the door is opened. Um, there are some times, I will admit, there are some times that the notification is a little bit delayed, but it's only delayed by at most 5 minutes. It's never been delayed. I've never not gotten a notification. Um, but I really like this because I don't know how many times I've driven to work and I've got there and I'm just like, I don't remember closing that door. So this enables you to close it remotely or check it to make sure that you're not going crazy and you did actually close it. It does offer you the ability to set a schedule, a feature that I haven't used, but it is there. Um, so if you're looking for a smart door opener that isn't for a garage door, the Open Sesame door openers will work on interior or exterior doors. They have a variety of remotes available, such as keypads. They have touch pads. They have proximity sensors. So if you're working with a person that utilizes a wheelchair, for instance, and um, they need to just wheel by their door, the door will automatically open once it senses that once it breaks that proximity barrier. They have jelly bean switch interfaces, or they also have a voice interface that you can connect to your smart speaker. They do offer an electric strike accessory that will open a latched or a locked door. So if it's in a setting where your doors are tied to your fire alarms, they will automatically open a latched door, and you don't have to worry about the door being ajar just a little bit. Um, and you can have multiple remotes and openers in one location. So check the Open Sesame doors out. Now, I've mentioned smart speakers a lot. For those of you that don't know what a smart speaker is or have heard the term and um, are you just don't know or have seen one. It's your Alexas, it's your Hey Googles. Um, Now the smart speakers are always listening, um, but they're listening for that wake word, and no voice recordings actually take place until it hears that wake word. So for the Amazon ones, it's Alexa. For the Google speakers, it's Hey Google. Um, the Echoes do have a feature called drop in that enable you to connect instantly to other Alexa enabled devices that are on the same Amazon account or with people that are added to your contacts. This would essentially create a voice activated intercom system. This feature can be turned off for each device for privacy reasons if you wanted. Um, you can connect um, Bluetooth devices like your phones, your tablets, to the speakers. So it can be a smart speaker and a Bluetooth speaker. Some smart speakers do have tablets built in that allow you to view cameras, watch videos, view recipes, have video chats, that sort of thing. The pictured ones are two different generations of the Echo Show, and that's the Amazon version. If you're looking for the Google model name, it's the Nest Hub or the Nest Hub Max. Um, those are the smart speakers with tablets that wake to the that are on Google. Smart media player. It's a device that allows you to stream content from your favorite streaming services. Um, the pictured one is the Amazon Fire TV Cube. It allows you to operate your TV and or surround sound using just your voice or with the provided remote. The Chromecast with Google TV, again, it does allow you to operate your TV and surround sound system, um, but you need the remote. It doesn't allow you to turn your devices on with just your voice. There's a power button here. There's a volume button on the other side. Both devices do allow you to stream or to search for specific content through across all of your streaming services. So YouTube, Netflix, Hulu, HBO Max, all of them. So if you're looking for one specific video, you can simply say, find Game of Thrones season 1, episode 3, or whatever. You can do that with the Google or with the Chromecast. That's this one here. You have to press this little black button that opens the Google Assistant. With the Fire TV Cube, you just have to say, Alexa, find Game of Thrones season 1, episode 3, and it will search for that specific episode. Um, Roku is another big player. Um, it's a great player. I have nothing against it. The only thing that I like about the Chromecast and the Amazon Fire TV Cube versus the Roku is the searching ability. With the Roku, you can search for specific content, but you have to go into each app. So you have to, if you want to watch a specific YouTube video or a specific episode of a TV show, you have to remember which streaming service that TV show is on, which isn't a big deal, but if you're working with a person that gets frustrated pretty easily and they want to watch that specific TV show, the using the voice search across all devices is a much or across all services, excuse me, is a much better solution. Um, so something to keep in mind with the streaming players. The streaming players turn a non-smart TV player or a non-smart TV into a smart TV. That's the other um, feature that I like. So I'm going to start getting into more of the Alexa settings. Um, One of the features on the Alexa Guard or on the Alexa is called Alexa Guard and Alexa Guard Plus. Um, Aside from added features, the biggest difference is the Alexa Guard Plus is $4.99 a month. It enables you to call emergency help hands free from your Echo. So you would just have to say, Alexa, call 911. Does have a little bit extra features, such as getting smart alerts. Excuse me. Such as getting smart alerts for smoke alarms. If it hears the sound of glass breaking, um, it'll automatically turn your lights on and off to make it seem like you're home when you're not. Um, but that feature can be done also in the apps of the smart plugs or the smart bulbs as well. So keep that in mind. So I'm going to get into routines a little bit here. So routine is, I had talked about the schedules on the other devices. So routines are available on both um, Google Home and Alexa. I will be talking about the Alexa routines because those are the ones that I'm more familiar with. They can so what you're going to see, what you see here on the screen is what you see on your app when you go to add a new routine, and it will ask you to enter a routine name. And honestly, the name doesn't really matter. It doesn't affect how the routine works. It just helps you remember what it's called. So then the next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna tap the plus sign next to when this happens, and then you'll get um, these options. Um, Voice. So when Alexa hears a certain phrase or wake word at a certain time, when a smart home appliance has been activated or deactivated, um, when it senses location, after an alarm sounds, through the press of an echo button, through guard, and then sound detection. So once you choose this one, so if you were to choose voice, you could say, Alexa, get staff's attention. Um, Add action, you can then then you'll go back, and then the next thing you'll see is the add action. And then this is just part of what you're going to see on the next page after you click add action. There's custom, there's smart home. Alexa says, so she'll say a phrase back to you. It will start a book on Audible. It can give you news briefings. It can set a calendar reminder, initiate a call, whether that's voice or video. lots of different things. Device settings, that's another useful one. I couldn't get a screen grab of all of them, but you can scroll several times on this section, and there's a lot of different things that it will do within the routines. So then you hit the back after you choose that. So this is an example of one that I have set up at home. Either my wife or I will say, Alexa, I'm going to bed. And she will say a specific phrase. And in that phrase, I actually um, had something, a reminder built in to check the garage light because I was always forgetting that light. And I haven't yet set it on a smart switch. Um, that's on my to-do list. It just hasn't happened yet. And it will turn the thermostat down to a comfortable temperature. Um, it'll turn the fan on for the dog, and then it'll turn all of the lights off. Um, so now I have that peace of mind that all of the lights in the house have been turned off. Another examples of how routines can help, just as a fun, but a fun, it's not a real example, but it's a possible example. Let's say you're working with a gentleman named Adam, and Adam has an Echo Dot in his room. Um, the house is equipped with smart bulbs in all the lamps, um, a Fire TV cube has been set up on the TV, and Echo devices are in the kitchen, the laundry room, and other common areas of the house. Adam is in his bedroom and needs some assistance. So, and he just says, Alexa, get staff's attention. Suddenly, all the light lamps in the house change to red. The TV turns off, and Help by the Beatles plays at 100% volume on every smart speaker in the house. So that's an example of what could be possible for someone trying to get staff's attention. Um, we haven't set up that extreme, but we have used used the routines and things like that to get for people served to get staff's attention or be able to operate their lights by themselves. So a question that we get a lot is how can people with difficult or no speech access their smart home? It is a great question. I will give you a few different examples of ways that you can do it. Here's an example of an AAC. This picture on the top left here is an example of an AAC app called Posco, which is available on the Apple App Store. That is a $5 version of the more popular, which is just underneath a picture just underneath it of ProLoco to Go, which is $250. You can program folders to say Alexa and then offer different options. So, for instance, when you press the Alexa folder, it will open up another screen that says turn off the lights or get staff's attention or something else, and then they press that. So then it does it. It feels more natural. One tip that I have noticed and I'll share with all of you is sometimes when you program Alexa's name into an AAC app, it doesn't always recognize it. So what I've started to do is I will actually spell it Alexuh. And for some reason, she responds a lot more frequently with when I use that spelling. The picture in the center is for an app called Voiceit, Voiceit. It's an app that um, can learn and translate difficult speech. So that's another option that people can use. The picture on the far right is a picture of an app called Action Blocks, which enable you to set resizable widgets on the home screen of a person's Android phone. This is only available on the Google Play Store, um, but you can use it to activate a routine. You can use it to activate a smart plug or a smart bulb. You can use it to activate or initiate a phone call, say specific words or phrases, and that's a free app um, on the Google Play Store. Another thing that we've used is, or another trick that we've used is we've used words or phrases that the person can say well to initiate routines. Um, if the person has trouble saying Alexa, the wake word can be changed to either Amazon, Echo, computer, or to Ziggy. There's not a way to um, change the wake word on the Google Home um, as of yet. I have a feeling because um, there are people that want that. I have a feeling that will be coming down the pike, but it's not available yet. Um, so that's just a few ways that people with difficult no speech can access their smart home. So if you're looking for a smart home that isn't connected to your Wi-Fi, there's a company called X10, and they can be found at x10.com. They have um, switches and ways to operate your um, lamps and things like that that use a radio frequency as opposed to a Wi-Fi network. Um, so feel free to check those products out. They do have internet connected products as well, but they have a lot of products that don't need to be connected to the internet. So with that, I will open it up to any questions that people may have.
I didn't see any questions in the chat. Richard, I don't know if they maybe just sent them straight to you. But currently I don't have any. So if anyone does have questions, please make sure you drop them in the chat so that we can get those answered for you.
Okay. I will, let me provide my email address and then a link to our website. So if you can't think of a question right now and you think of one later, feel free to drop me an email. I just saw something that from Paul. I would like to be able to present this information to the rest of my team. Will the slides be available? Yes, I will. I will send Holly the slides.
As people are typing their questions in, I'll give a heads up. Our next session will be technology solutions. It will be beginning at noon. Um, it will also be a tech lab production. So we're really excited to hear more from them. To find that link, it is a separate link from the one you're currently on. You would just close this session, and then on our technology event page where it says join a session, it says click here to join, and I'm going to go ahead and drop that website link into the chat in case anyone needs it. I'm not seeing any more questions come through, Richard.
Okay.
I'm hoping that a lot of them are like me, and it takes them a while to process everything, and then we'll get inundated as the tech summit continues. And I'll be sure to reach back out if I get any of those questions for me. Oh, we have a few.
Are
Are
there,
there any devices to control regular TV?
so like cable and network TV?
I'm thinking regular TV as free local
Right.
channels.
So with that, with the Amazon Fire TV Cube, I do know that you can set up your you can set it up to control or to view all of it. So you can just say view channel 35 or whatever, and it will open that as well. But I think you'll need a cable box, so it doesn't necessarily have to be streaming. But with the Google TV or the Chromecast with Google TV, it is all streaming. You're welcome.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today for day one of our Tech Fest. Ooh, we got some more. Yay!
Our mini remotes are great. That's a very good recommendation. Um, and what's nice about the Harmony remotes is you don't necessarily need to purchase the whole remote. You can purchase the Harmony Hub, which you can use using your smartphone or your tablet. That's an excellent suggestion. I have one at home. I don't know why I didn't think of that initially. Thank you, Jesse, for reminding me about that. Okay. Well, if any of you have any other questions, feel free to shoot me an email or um, check out our website. Um, and thank you for your time.
Thank you for joining us today, Richard. We really appreciate it, and we have really enjoyed all the knowledge and information that you provided.
Thank you.